Hey everyone, welcome to Breakout Wednesday for the 20th of December 2023. It's currently actually 10 p.m. on Tuesday night on the West Coast, 1 a.m. on the East Coast. First of all, remember this is never financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is simply a video blog on how one trader sees the market, and everyone needs to take responsibility for their own decisions. I'm going to publish this at some stage, either tonight if I have time, or tomorrow, i.e. Wednesday. All right, so first of all, the market's obviously pretty strong, right? We're in, as far as I'm concerned, a raging bull market, yeah, I'm not sure. No one knows. Is this just going to keep trending up strongly? Are we at the start of a massive bull market, or are we going to have a sell-off? I don't know. No one knows. However, I'm going to let the market tell me. Okay, I've got tight stop losses on my positions. I'm managing my positions. I'm only taking the best setups and just doing what I always do. But at the moment, I'm 90% long, and I'm looking for opportunities that I think are very, very high probability to put that remaining 10% of my money at work for me. All right. So I'm going to quickly just rattle through some of the stocks I've talked about recently, really quickly, because there's a lot. Then I'm going to just get onto a few stocks which I'm eyeballing, and then a few other things before I piss off for the year. Okay. Now, first of all, just real quick, just rattling through some of these stocks. AMD, I'm still in it. Okay, it's just basing and consolidating and hoping it flings up. Hub, okay, it's actually doing pretty well, but I didn't take it because I'm so heavily invested. I decided I'd leave that one, but that's doing okay. We'll see how that goes. Mara, I sold out of all that, and it's just continued to go batshit nuts. You know, there is an old saying, let your profits run, and I cut that too early, but, you know, I made 50% on my money pretty damn quickly, but anyway, I would have nearly doubled it if I just stuck in there. So that's life. Sold that too early. I have a habit of selling Riot and Mara and all these, you know, Bitcoin stocks way too early, but, you know, that's life. BHP, talked about last week, setting up in this Davis box. It's broken out of that and it's going strong. Look, you know, I talked about this a lot last week. If you missed it, go back and listen about how BH has been basing for years, really, and how I'm pretty bullish on resources. Just my opinion on that's just even stronger this week. I've just been thinking on it for a whole week and looking at millions, if not millions, but hundreds and hundreds of charts, and I just think that there's some good times ahead for these resource stocks. Okay, this is my biggest position in my self-managed super fund. I just think that, you know, 2024 potentially is going to be a very good year, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm going to let price dictate what I do. Let's just quickly move on. FMG, okay, it broke out of its new Davis box. I was talking about this one last week, but, you know, I'm still long that. I haven't trimmed that, and I'm just going to see if it can fling up further. Okay, this, you know, I got out of that first trade from here to here too early, right? I got up in this gap out. I'm not going to sell too early this time. I'm just going to ride that and just move my stop loss up progressively. What are some others, guys? Everything seems to be working. Amazon's broken out of this Davis box and it's pushed on. MLR is kind of one of the only ones that's, you know, hasn't really taken off, but, you know, I'm about break even at the moment. Let's see how she goes. Boral, okay, I'm not in it because I just don't have enough cash to be in everything, but shit, I wish I was. You know, it's kind of perfect. I should have piled the rest of my cash into that, guys. That was dumb. Anyway, DMP. Okay, I am in this one. I cannot remember if I talked about this last week. I have a feeling I didn't, but I did post it to Twitter, and I think I did talk about it on Breakout Wednesday maybe a month ago or 3 weeks ago. Guys, this is technically one of the best setups I've seen in a long time. Been hammered. Look at that. I mean, holy shit, from 170 down to whatever it is, 50 something. Massive base in action. Let's just put our moving averages on it. All the moving averages coming together. It's sticking on top of it. I mean, shit, it's got everything. It's even got a volume spike here and good on balance volume, all that sort of stuff. And just a huge base and a breakout, and so, you know, I decided to take that over kind of the Boral trade, or there was another one that I bypassed for this one, Hub I think it was, just because of how good it damn looks. So I'm in Dominoes. Let's see how she goes. Gear, okay, and, you know, this is not a new trade, but this is obviously something I've talked a lot about this year. gave this amazing head and shoulders pattern, which I posted on Twitter, and it's broken out of that and just gone for it. So look, I'm obviously a huge fan of gear. Okay, I've been in it for ages. I always buy the dips, but technical analysis works on it as well. Hey, and just quickly, my other favorite ETS, the NASDAQ 100, still strong, still at all-time highs, and that is all out of the new trades, guys. I'm still the only ones that haven't gone well lately for me really is kind of ResMed that's sort of dumped here. This is in the self-managed super fund that I'm just kind of sitting tight with. I've been in that for years, and the other one is I've got a weird loyalty to Pepper Money, okay, which I've been in. I'm holding a pretty big loss on it at the moment, but I'm still pretty confident. For some weird reason, there's just no doubt in my mind that that's going to come back eventually. The dividends are good, the company's good. I just think that maybe it's silly to have such confidence in it, but for some reason I just think that if I'm really, really patient, I'm still going to be a good investment in my self-managed super fund. Okay, that's all I want to talk about in terms of the current stocks, the ones I've been talking about recently. There's some new stuff coming up. And I need to be really, 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 really picky. I talked about CIA last week. If we just go to an all-time chart, there's massive, massive resistance here at 8.06. Okay, and we have this. I was talking about some inside bars last week that didn't really play out, but now we have this really tight pattern here with about 10 days of consolidation, and it's hard because. Do you wait for the break of all-time highs, or do you think that maybe this tight congestion pattern it'll explode from there out into new all-time highs? I don't know. I don't have the answers. I know what I would do, and that's trust my tight little pattern here. Okay, and so I'm going to be getting into a smaller position on a break here, and then I'm going to be adding to it if things are going well for me. All right, and so this is kind of. The iron ore so strong, Fortescue so strong. This is just technically so good, and I just can't see a reason not to risk the money here on that one. Okay, so I'm probably going to pile into CIA. And while I'm here, I just wanted to quickly talk about some volume stuff. Okay, in CIA because I think the on-balance volume indicator is pretty misunderstood. I think people think, when it goes down, that's bad, and when it goes up, that's good. And it's kind of completely bullshit. Like, that's not really the case. And I just this is a good example of why, and I just want to show a few bars, okay? If we have this bar here on the, sorry guys, what date is this here? 20th of October. And another day on the 23rd of October. Okay, let's just look at the day on the 23rd of October. It's a better example. Okay, the on-balance volume got hammered that day, went down because the stock gapped down and then closed down lower than it was the previous day. But if you look at the candle that day, all that happened that day was buying. Okay, buy, because it opened on its high pretty much, closed on its open on its low pretty much, closed on its high. That is as bullish as all hell, that candle. And so the on-balance volume indicator going down that day just means squaddly jack shit, right? And it's lying to us. This another day here, let's just look on the 8th of November. Huge volume, not huge volume, but pretty big volume. On-balance, the volume indicator goes down, but this stock gaps down, so it's obviously closes lower than that day, has a huge wick, bounces off that wick, closes on its high. That's bullish as hell, right? There's all sorts of buying going on that day, right? It's just people seeing a tiny, tiny little dip in that stock and buying the shit out of it. And so I'm just, there's another, I'm just very I don't look at the on-balance indicator like most do and like you get taught to in textbooks and stuff, because I think that it's pretty, I think that OBV is pretty useless, okay? And we're gonna soon have the ability to turn it off on this volume window here, okay? Then just the next thing I'm gonna go to is A2M, and have a look at A2M here, okay? Now, this huge down day here in volume, right? Okay, you'd think, oh shit, that's bad, on balance volume went down. I mean, just look at the candle. The candle tells you so much more than the on-balance volume indicator. You know, there's more buying than selling here because the wick to the downside is much longer than the wick to the upside. It closed the same place it opened. It's a pretty neutral day. It's definitely not a bearish day. Okay, I had to say anything is a little more bullish and bearish. So anyway, there's just a bit of some random shit going on there, but I just think it's worth pointing out, because with the CIA trade, I certainly, before I take trades, I'm pretty brief with what I talk about on Breakout Wednesday, but I will go through kind of the last 50 bars for every trade and look at every single volume day and just look at all the significant volume days, look what happened, look at all this green volume here and all the buying and not closing on its high, go through and have a look at every single dip day and have a look at what happened to the volume on every single dip day. Was it heavy volume closing on its low, or were there wicks and it was closing on its high? If you just take the time to study, say the last 50 to 60 days before any trade you ever take, you're gonna learn a shitload. You're gonna get into more winners and losers, you're just gonna be a way better trader. Not many people do it, which is crazy, because this is a business and there's huge money on the line. I don't understand why you wouldn't, but it's probably something I don't talk about enough, the volume analysis that should be going on before every single trade. Okay, so that is that. Another trade, by the way, A2M, I'm probably not going to trade that because it's, there's better stuff out there with blue sky, but it is showing signs of a bottom. It's early days, hey, but this could have a violent move out of that base, but it's probably going to do it without me, okay? Now, so other than CIA, there's Nvidia, okay? This is obviously an expensive stock, but this is obviously one of the biggest leaders in the world right now. When it moves, it can move. It could totally just rally 50%. That's a daily chart. This is a weekly chart. It's obviously been basing since August. This is obviously very much involved in the AI race, okay? And it's an amazing company. During all that crypto bull market, they were cashing in on the whole Bitcoin mining, machinery, chip stuff, and now they're cashing in on the AI stuff. They're just a license to print money, this company, and a massive leader. So I'm going to be I need to concentrate my money on the leading stocks. This is it. So CIA and Nvidia will be getting some cash. And the other, I just wanted to quickly talk about gold. The only other thing I had to talk about is that GOR and a few other gold stocks, but I just wanted to bring this one up because it's interesting and just get rid of these. This is a monthly chart of gold road resources on the ASX, and I can find you a bunch of gold stocks that are similar, and this has been based in since July 2020. Okay, obviously it's had a massive a 50% retracement during that bit. That's a big base, and now it's just consolidating and basing right below this huge resistance line. Okay, I remember trading Gore back here. If you go back to this breakout in January 2018, it was one of the most amazing looking bases ever, and then it kind of faltered and flushed a lot of people out, then had a huge run. So it can obviously be pretty choppy because it's so dependent on, it's a commodity stock, it's so dependent on the gold price, and it's not like a booming business that's just printing money that doesn't give a shit about something else out there like a commodity. But what I'm trying to say is that this is a huge base. It's got blue sky above it, and so they are the three stocks that I am working towards and thinking about putting my last 10% of cash into. Okay, the only other stuff is for 2024. My plan is to keep doing what I do. I literally not change anything. My job is to just find stocks and setups like this SMR trade that I took back in August, and these are the ones that I want to be really aggressive with and put bigger position sizes on, and just do my Davis box scans every single day, look for the VCPs, look for the big bases, and that's it. If you get a break over Chrissy and you want to do some reading, I've talked about other books, but Stan Weinstein's and all the other classics, but check this book out, okay? The whole how to get out of trade stuff, cut in, letting winners run and all that sort of stuff, and where your stop losses should be is really dependent on what market we're in, okay? And right now we're in a market where you want to let your winners go. You just let them run, because that's how you can make outsized gains. And the reason I bring up this book, A, it's one of the best trading books ever written. B, nearly every single market wizard in there has the same advice. If you just read it through, it's so common. First of all, most of them tell you to read Stan Weinstein's book. And second of all, nearly all of them say that the secret to trading is letting your winners run and cutting your losers quickly. And I read this book when it came out, probably 20 years ago, I don't remember. It was a long time ago. And it didn't, letting winners run, cutting losses short, it didn't really mean much to me. What does that actually look like in the real world? But all these years later, I look back and think, shit, it really is the key to making crazy amounts of money, having the ability to let Mara run, which I did not, but I certainly am a lot better than I was 20 years ago, okay? And I think that if you've got time off over Chrissy, check it out, read it, absorb it. I promise you, you're going to be better off for it. Have a good Chrissy, everyone. Take care of yourselves. I'll catch you guys early Jan. Take care. Bye.